Good afternoon. I have Minister for National Security, the Honorable Wayne Keynes, here this afternoon, together with James Dodson, the Director of the Bermuda Weather Service. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Minister, can we start off with the statement that you gave earlier today at the press briefing?
Sure, let's read it again. Good afternoon, everyone. Following a meeting this morning of the Emergency Measures Organization, I just want to give you the latest update on Tropical Storm Jerry. We have been advised by the Bermuda Weather Service that Bermuda's experienced tropical force winds will experience tropical force winds on Tuesday evening. I'll let James Dodson of the Bermuda Weather Service discuss those details. As I stressed yesterday, we will strongly encourage everyone to remain in a state of hurricane readiness. Today's update is for tomorrow, Monday only. The EMO will meet again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to evaluate Tropical Storm Jerry, and we will provide a full update during our Monday press conference at 12:30, as well as a 1:30 p.m. update on the emergency broadcast station at 100.1 FM. All public schools will be open tomorrow. However, we are encouraging all staff and students to bring at least two 15-ounce water bottles until the drinking water can be tested at all of our schools. All buses are running as normal and will run as scheduled tomorrow. All government offices will be open for business tomorrow. Currently, Elko has 3,000 customers without power. That is 8% of the entire customer base, and they anticipate that all power will be restored by Monday. Thanks to all the major efforts by our combined crews, we have made good progress in road clearing. However, please be mindful of the roadside debris and take caution while driving on our roads as the road clearing work continues. The ferries are running as normal and will run as normal on Monday. The King Edward Memorial Hospital is operating as normal and is preparing for the next storm. The Lam Fogo Urgent Care Center in St. David's is open this weekend from noon to midnight. The weekday hours are 4 p.m. until 12 midnight. The hospital is still seeing patients coming in with cleanup-related injuries. Please take all the necessary precautions when restoring your property. As I said yesterday, pay close attention to the food in your refrigerator. Some people have been without power for many days. Your food may not have been properly preserved, and I strongly suggest that you throw it away as it has probably gone bad. Trash collection will resume as normal on Monday. The Marsh Folly facility is open for collection until 4 p.m. Please take all trees and foliage to the Marsh Folly facility. Please note that the dumping fees have been waived. Lifeguards are on duty at the Horseshoe Bay until 6 p.m. The LF Wade International Airport will operate today and tomorrow as normal. For those vulnerable persons who may require help with damage to their roofs, i.e. our seniors and people with mobility challenges, or people who are ill, please call 247-1639. That number again is 247-1639. So essentially, Monday will be business as usual. Back to work, back to school, buses running as normal. As said earlier in our emergency measures briefing, we will meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will assess Tropical Storm Jerry and make all the necessary decisions about what will happen on Tuesday, and we will update you, the public, at our 12:30 press conference, and again right here on the emergency broadcast station 100.1 FM. If you know anyone who does not have access to online media sites, specifically our seniors, please encourage them to listen to this station, 100.1 FM, at 1:30 tomorrow, and they can stay abreast of storm updates. But you can easily stay informed and get the latest updated information by downloading and installing the government's Tree Frog app, which is available in the App Store and the Google Play Store. You can also visit www.gov.bm and the Bermuda government's Facebook page, our Twitter accounts, or our Instagram account for full details. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. James, can you give us an update on the tropical storm? What is it looking like and what should we expect?
Yes, of course. So we've got Tropical Storm Jerry down to our south. It was a hurricane. It's actually weakened to a tropical storm for the moment, and that's because it's been affected by a lot of wind shear. The latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center of Miami, in concert with Bermuda Weather Service, is that it maintains strong tropical storm force strength, but doesn't necessarily re-intensify into a hurricane as such. However, we've got to be cognizant that as a strong tropical storm, it only has to increase by 5 to 10 knots, and that would put it into a Category 1 hurricane. So at this stage, I think we've got to certainly be prepared for a strong tropical storm, if not a weak Category 1 hurricane. In terms of the timing of this system coming towards us, we're looking at the weather deteriorating tomorrow with increasing cloud. There will be increasing showers. The breeze will pick up, not to any desperate strength, but certainly you'll notice the breeze picking up a bit from the southeast. And then we're looking at those showers developing later tomorrow into Tuesday. Now, with the current forecast, and it is subject to change, this is a particularly challenging forecast, this particular system. But on the current latest information I have, we're looking at tropical storm force winds building across the island on Tuesday evening, and those continuing into Wednesday morning. We're not expecting sustained hurricane force winds, but it's not to say we couldn't see hurricane force gusts across exposed, elevated parts of the island. With that in mind, the Bermuda Weather Service, in conjunction with the National Hurricane Center, is likely to issue a tropical storm watch later today, most likely with the 6 p.m. evening advisory. With all things staying the same, if we're still looking like being threatened by Tropical Storm Jerry and the timing stays similar, then we'll likely increase that tropical storm watch to a tropical storm warning some point on Monday morning.
Thank you very much for that comprehensive overview, James. Just some general questions about the weather and hurricanes. We've just had Hurricane Humberto, and so in my mind that would suggest that the sea surface temperature around Bermuda has cooled down. Is that in fact correct?
There's certainly an element of that, and we saw that with Faye and Gonzalo quite a few years ago, that Faye came through and it did take some of the energy out of the ocean that helped Gonzalo not be perhaps as impactful as it could have been. We obviously monitor the sea temperatures, and pre-Humberto they were hovering around 86 or 30 Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit that is. And over recent days, with the passage of Humberto, and as everyone noticed, we've had this cool, very pleasant northerly breeze over the last couple of days after Humberto. Those sea temperatures have dropped to nearer 81 Fahrenheit or 27 Celsius. So that, as most people will know, that's the fuel, that's the big fuel driver for these hurricanes and them developing. So the fact that we've lost a few degrees in ocean temperatures is certainly helpful, but the kicker is you only need 80 degrees Fahrenheit for tropical development, so we're still above that. So that's why there's some concern. It's a small chance at this stage that we could see Tropical Storm Jerry intensifying into a weak hurricane, but most of the model guidance at the moment suggests just a weak Category 1. So unless something changes dramatically, I'm not expecting it to blow up into a Category 3 like Humberto was.
Now, we're focused specifically on Tropical Storm Jerry, but we know that there's a system coming behind that storm. Can you speak about Karen?
I can, yes. So Tropical Storm Karen developed overnight, last night into this morning, and that's currently affecting the Trinidad and Tobago area, I think with some fairly heavy rain. It is a weak tropical storm with around 35, 40 knot winds. It is forecast to gradually move northwards towards Bermuda, but the latest indications are that it will probably be swept to the west and blocked by our ridge of high pressure, if you like, our Bermuda Azores High. It's early days, that's at least a week away, but obviously we need to keep our eyes on Karen as well, and there is something moving off Africa as well, yet another area that might develop into Lorenzo down the road, but the latest guidance I have on that system is that it should recurve well to the east of Bermuda, But it's worth highlighting the fact that we are in the height of hurricane season now. September into October is the peak, and then we really dip later in October into November. So we should remain vigilant despite these systems right through the course of the season, which takes us to the end of November.
Thank you very much, James. Minister, do you have any closing thoughts or comments that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. Again, I would like to thank you for that which you do, Ms. Lizzie Wilson. I don't take your team's preparation, keeping us all informed. People are constantly giving and shouting, giving me plaudits and showing me gratitude, but I would like to, obviously, the media strategy, getting all the information out to the public is coming from you and your team, and I would like to say thank you on behalf of the people of Bermuda who are exceedingly grateful for having the information in the requisite time to make some critical decisions. With reference to the storm, we are ready, let's stay ready. Let's make sure that we are vigilant because the storm is a tropical, storm, and we should not let down our guard or rest on our laurels. We know what, let's prepare as if this was the most significant storm ever, because if we are hyper vigilant, then the chances of us seeing accidents and seeing deaths and seeing a large scale, like people not being prepared, those chances are much, much lessened. We have to stay vigilant. We have to continue to look out for our most vulnerable people, our seniors, people that are infirmed and at home, and for our pets. And let's get all the medication and everything that we need prior to then. Bermuda's going to be open tomorrow. I know my nieces and nephews are going to be very mad at me, but schools are open tomorrow. Schools are open tomorrow. The roads are clear. The buses are back on the road. Bermuda, the government office is open. We're back at work. We're resilient. And tomorrow morning, the EMO will have our meeting at 10 o'clock. James will give us his latest forecast, and then we'll be able to set the field, to use a cricket terminology, to say this is what we're going to do over the next 24 hours. So we have the opportunity to get another report from James and his team, and then we can make some critical decisions. And as we have been doing tomorrow at 12:30, we'll be having a press conference for all the news media, and then we'll come here for 1:30 and we'll do this exact same thing for people on the emergency broadcast system. So please listen to the key media outlets and Tree Frog app, download it on the Apple and on the Google Play Store, and let's just stay abreast. Again, let's continue to be mindful on the roads, to slow down, to look out for our neighbors, to be patient with Balco, to be patient with the Department of Parks and the Bermuda Regiment as we get our country back on its feet. Thank you, Bermuda, for your being long-suffering. Thank you for your patience. We have the opportunity tomorrow. Traffic might be a little longer because we're still trying to get back on our feet. So let's all remember that. Let's all charge up all our devices. Let's all get our water dipped if we are prone to lose water. Let's just prepare and be ready. We don't have to all rush out and get everything at the last moment. We have a few hours to start preparing, to be measured and to be disciplined as we prepare for the tropical storm that's coming.
Thank you very much, Minister. I just want to add, I would like to echo your thanks to the Department of Communications. I really must say thank you to my team at the department. Everybody has worked so hard over these last few days as we've gone prepared for the hurricane, going through the hurricane, after the hurricane, and now we're still in preparedness mode. So I appreciate your comments, and I absolutely must say thank you to my team.
Absolutely. Listen, while we're thanking, I would like to thank everybody in all of our services for the government and the private sector. When we start naming people, but I want everyone to know if you were involved in the hurricane effort, we appreciate you, we applaud you, we're grateful for you. We love this effort, this sense of community, this sense of getting the island back up. We appreciate the Bermudian spirit. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, James. And we're going to put the music back on. So everybody, stay tuned until tomorrow at 1:30. Thank you.